What's up guys, iJustQuad here. So today it is time for another cell phone collection update. Yeah, it hasn't been too long since I did the last one. I did the last one back in February, but I've gotten quite a few new phones since the last update. So I figured now is a good time to go ahead and do it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so we'll start with my one UTStarcom phone. Okay, I need to shift this here. This is the UTStarcom CDM 7076 PP. So, from the last couple of collection updates, you guys saw that that I couldn't find a proper charger for this phone. Well, now that I do have a proper charger, it is working perfectly fine. So I found out that Motorola chargers actually work perfectly fine for this phone. So I was able to do that, but also I did end up getting a stock Verizon charger, so that works as well. But Motorola charger seems to work perfectly fine, but also in case I need to use a Verizon charger, I have the backup. So this phone is all good. It's just a pretty basic flip phone. So yeah. Okay, now for my one Sony Ericsson phone. This is the Sony Ericsson Vivaz. Vivaz? I don't know. It's a really strange name, but it does work. It's in pretty nice condition. I like this galaxy blue as well. I think that's the official color name. As you can see, it's on AT&T. And it apparently has a really, really impressive camera. 8.1 megapixel camera. I mean, on a, low-end smartphone like this. Not bad. This touchscreen's not very good. It has a crappy resistive touchscreen. It's better than some resistant touchscreens, but not. Yeah, and also that never stops happening. That is so fucking annoying. But you can see it also doesn't know the date. I haven't reset that yet. It is not July 14th, 2012. It is May 11th. What? I didn't ask for the tutorial. It is... Shut up. It is May 11th, 2021, and it is not 6:20 p.m. It is 3 o'clock. So, yeah. Anyways. Lock. So you can finally shut it. Alright, we'll do the last out of the basic phones, my one Newmind phone. This is the Newmind F15, the infamous Ferrari phone. This phone does not work. I don't know why. It's probably from that crack in the hinge that's just screwing something up, but it's also just cheap, garbage, Chinese quality. So, yeah. Not much to say about that one. Alright, and then for the three smartphones, starting with the crappiest one out of any of my smartphones, really. This is the Curio Touch 4S with a dismantled back cover, a sketchballs looking battery, a internally shattered screen. That is not, I don't feel those cracks on the surface. It looks like it's gotten a little bit worse. So yeah. So yeah, this phone is a hot mess in so many ways. So yeah. And then for the two working smartphones, starting with my only Huawei phone. This is the Huawei Ascend Plus. Works perfectly fine. It's just Android 4.0, not really a ton of app support anymore. It does support a relatively modern version of the Play Store for Android 4, but it's, yeah, it's not that useful. But it's still a pretty cool phone, even though it's just a cheap track phone. There we go. There we go. So, not really a whole lot to say about this one. Just, older Android phone. But it is running Android 4.0.4. So that's ice cream sandwich. So yeah, pretty cool. And last out of the brands that I only have one of is this. This is the AT&T Radiant Core, Tenno Radiant Core. Tenno is like an AT&T subsidiary. So, yeah. So this phone is just a result of garbage quality control. Like, this phone does not know how to turn off, so I have to eject the battery pretty much every time I want to turn it off. Like, I could turn it off through the Android power menu, but past that, it just, like, 5 minutes later, it turns itself back on. So, this phone is basically a certified piece of shit. It has an awful screen, an awful camera, it's slow as hell. And it's just got a crap load of problems, man. And I swear, sometimes it just takes like 5 minutes just to power back on. Like, it is so sad. But it looks like it's powering on pretty quickly now. Come on. Or not. There you go. Kind of. What? Okay.
Hi, what can I do?
I didn't ask you anything. Not software update, god damn it. So you can see this is on it is on Android 9.0 Go edition, so that's Android Pie. So yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, this phone sucks. It also has the Galaxy S3 lock tone, which don't know why that's a thing, but it is. I just dropped it. Alright, first up for my two Nokia phones. Starting with this massive thing. This is a Nokia 2190E. So this, I don't know if this works because I don't have the charger for it. But it's in pretty nice shape. But my god, this thing, for a phone, this thing is heavy. Like, straight up, it has got to be at least a pound, which for a phone is just absurd. So, yeah. This is also my new oldest phone, 1997, and it straight up looks like a calculator. So, yeah. And for my other Nokia phone, this is the Nokia 5165. So again, can't test it because I don't have that Nokia barrel charger, but it's in really nice shape. I think this is a custom faceplate. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I have a little bit more hope for this one working than the other Nokia because this one actually has a factory battery. So yeah. But we'll see. Hopefully I can get the charger for this, for these Nokias at some point. So yeah. Alright, now on to my two Kyocera phones. Starting with this. This is the Kyocera Energy. So again, I don't know if this works because I don't have the charger for it. I think it's a barrel plug. I think that's the charger, and I'm hoping it's not just a hole that somebody carved into the phone. But this phone looks like it's in pretty nice shape overall. So, yeah. It's also apparently a 3G phone. Not really sure if I believe that one. But yeah, it's in nice shape. So yeah, hopefully if I get a charger, it'll work. Alright, and for my other Kyocera phone, this is the Kyocera Marble. So this one technically does work, although I don't, it doesn't work for me right now because the battery that was in it was just so swollen. So it is barely holding a charge, so I just got rid of the battery. So hopefully I can get a new one for this phone at some point. So, yeah. Alright, now on to my two ZTE phones. Starting with this. This is the ZTE Sonata 2. Works perfectly fine. Just has a weird power button issue where like it takes like a good minute and a half for the power button to actually do anything when the phone starts up. I mean, you can power on the phone just fine, but I don't know why it does that. So, yeah, very weird. And that is one of the greatest startup sounds of all time. I'm sorry. This screen isn't that great. The viewing angles are kind of crap. But otherwise, this is a pretty decent phone. It's running Android 4.4.4, I believe. I think. I'm going to check. Okay. So, let's take a look here. So yeah, this is running Android 4.4.4, which of course is KitKat. So, pretty cool. So, yeah. Oh, right. I'm going to set that off to the side. And for my other ZTE phone, you guys already know this one. This is the ZTE Maven 3. Kind of a staple in these collection updates. Nothing really wrong with this phone, to be honest. Besides the battery's just really not very good anymore. I mean, I've had this phone for like 3 years now, so. That speaker sounded a little weird. It sounded like it was cracking. Also, this phone, yeah, it has an unusable 8 gigs of storage, so I constantly have to wipe it to actually get storage back. And yeah. Doesn't have a great screen. Viewing angles are kind of not great, but that seems to be a common thing with lower end ZTE phones. So, yeah, come on. There we go. And there it is. So this is running... Shut it. Android 7.1.1, which of course is Nougat. And wow. There we go. All right, now on to my 3 Sanyo phones. Starting with this. This is the Sanyo SCP-53, or not SC, no, this is the, no, that's not the right one. This is the Sanyo PM-8200. So used to introducing the other ones first. The power button is definitely starting to have problems. It barely works anymore. Like, you have to push it in really fucking hard for it to work, so yeah, not exactly good. But otherwise this phone's fine. Exterior display doesn't work, but yeah, other than that, it's all good. So, yeah. And speaking of SCP-5300s, these are my 2 SCP-5300s. So, they both work. This one, the hinge weight popped, so it's just feeling super flimsy. So that's not great. But otherwise, they both work perfectly fine. I'll go ahead and unlock them real quick. Okay. And yeah, not much to say about these. Yeah, you can hear that hinge is definitely starting to get weak. All right, now on to my 3 iPhones. Starting with the oldest, this is the iPhone 3G. I think the battery's dead. Yeah, battery's dead. But this phone works perfectly fine. It's an 8GB on AT&T, although the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth don't work. So, yeah, not really much I can do with this one besides, you know, like have music. that I saved over from my laptop, which actually this phone does still connect to the latest version of, well, it's not really iTunes anymore, it's just the Finder at this point, but it still works on macOS Big Sur, surprisingly, so yeah. Okay, next up, this is my iPhone SE1. Wait, hold on a second. This phone looks a little, naked. There we go. I knew it was missing something. So, okay, that was so dumb. Okay, but yeah, this phone works perfectly fine. Just the battery is absolute crap in this thing. I barely last like 3 hours. It is hot garbage. But this phone actually still runs iOS 14.5 perfectly fine. Doubting iOS 15 for this thing, probably not going to happen, considering that the 6S and SE and pretty much all A9 devices have been, you know, gotten 5+ years of software updates already. So yeah, and also this phone is not activated. AT&T has just been putting out LTE for their non-activated devices, so not really sure what's going on with that. But yeah. But as you can see, this runs iOS 14 perfectly fine. I'll just show you that here really quick. That's not where the general is. Yep, iOS 14.5. So, yeah, there you go. Okay, and last for the iPhones, this is my daily driver. This is the iPhone XR. Face ID is not happy with me right now. But as you can see, this is a 128 gig blue model. Works perfectly fine. My iPhone SE is going absolutely nuts right now. Yeah, it is a 128 gig blue model. I just got it about 2 weeks ago, so yeah, it is awesome. So excited to finally use an iPhone as my daily driver again. So, yeah. Okay, now on to my 4 HTC phones. Haven't said that ever. Starting off, these are my 2 HTC Droid Arises. Both of them work just fine. The batteries are actually surprisingly okay. Although these touchscreens, either they're just degraded or they are just probably some of the worst resistive touchscreens I have ever used. They are absolutely horrendous. So, yeah, it's pretty bad. But we got the old droids on a skateboard, so... Or droids on skateboards. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Both of them are running Android 2.1 Eclair. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Random shit is stuck to the screen. There they are. Yeah, you can see the touchscreen is pretty screwed up. I think these are basically like the Verizon version of the HTC Hero. Although I know, as far as I know, the Hero is just a much worse phone. I don't know if that's actually true, but I'm pretty sure that's what I heard. But yeah, as you can see, I'll go to the settings real quick. Both of them. Nope. Didn't want to go to that. Come on. Oh, the back button's barely working now. Great. They are both running Android 2.1 Eclair. So that's super cool. So, yeah. Next, we have another one of the staples. This is the HTC Trophy. You guys already know this one. So I told you in the last episode, or the last collection update, that the power button was completely stuck in, so I had to eject the battery to turn it off. Well, it turns out the power button actually managed to fix itself. I don't know how. It just randomly started clicking again one day, so I don't know. I can't give a very good answer on what the hell happened there. So yeah, and also yes, my front bezel, the front bezel of my HTC trophy is completely ripped off. I tore it off on accident when making a homemade case, so that did not go well. But yeah. Okay, and last for the HTC phones, this is the HTC Droid Incredible LTE. So yes, all of my HTC phones are on Verizon. Hold on, give it a second. There it is. There we go. So this phone works perfectly fine. Battery's not great. Does have a decent speaker and actually has a relatively decent camera, surprisingly. And I actually did test this with my SIM card, and it does work. It is LTE capable. Well, I mean, Droid Incredible LTE, so it makes no sense. But yeah, but the speakers sound decent because this is actually using Beats audio, so not too bad. Also has that pretty sweet looking red power button, so kind of like that. And the touchscreen actually isn't hot crap like the Ericsson's. Although the lock screen's barely loading. Okay, just give it a minute. Oh, HTC Sense. And there it is. So this is running Android 4.0.4 with Sense 4.1. So a pretty modern but also relatively old version of Sense. So I kind of like that. Pretty cool live wallpaper going on here. So, okay, thanks. And don't know why you're doing that. So, yeah, but pretty cool phone. Not particularly usable as a daily driver, but, you know, as a backup, it works.